Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the Clover Leaf, Scotland's King of Comedy, HECTOR NICOL!
Alright. Let's have a wee bit of law and order now, that's all we want now. The superintendent said to me, what would you do if you saw a crime wave? I said, I would wave back. I was sent out to a wife assault the other night there. And I got to this house and I knocked on the door and this woman came in the door. Oh, she had two big black eyes. I said, what happened? She said, my man struck me. I said, where's your man? She said, there he's lying there. She said. I said, did you strike your wife? He said, yes. I said, first offender? He said, first offender, then a poker, then a shovel. You got enough a lot of cases you never even hear about them. A fella there taken up last week there, making love to a poodle. Having an affair with a wee poodle. How could anybody stoop so low? It's ridiculous, isn't it? He was up before the judge. The judge said to me, he said, I've been on the bench for 40 years. He said, I haven't come across a case like this. He said, I don't even know what sentence to give you. And the boy at the front said, give him the cat. Terrible. I like the night duty myself. I go down at night, I always go down the car park, see the young couples in the back seat of the car, you know. Oh, you see some sights? I was doing there last night. Oh, there's a couple in the back of this car and they were going at the hammer and tongs. I said, what are you doing? He said, nothing. I said, hold my torch. I said, the girl, you being molested? She said, yes, thank you. I said, I can smell drink in here. I said, blow into that. He said, I should have went after. He said, we're just throwing that out of the car. I said, I stopped a loose woman in a car the other night there. She was all over the road. She would drink, you know. I gave her the breathalyzer. The breathalyzer. And I said, you've had a few stiff ones a night. She said, did I tell you that tea? I was passing by one of these high flats in Glasgow, up at Springburn there, you know. There's a fella right in the top, but he was going to jump, going to commit suicide. Oh, terrible. And I ran like hell, you know, I ran way up the stair, I got a lift and got way up and I got the window next door there. And I leaned out, I said, come on, Jock. I said, you can't jump now, don't jump. I said, think you have a girlfriend? He says, I haven't got a girlfriend, he said. I said, well, think of your mother and father and all the people that brought you up. I said, yeah. He said, I'm an orphan. I said, well, don't be a coward. Don't be a coward, I said. Think of all the heroes of Scotland. He said, I'm not a Scotsman, I'm an Englishman. I said, jump, you swine. I said. See, I haven't been keeping well. Oh, I've been very bad. Very bad. And see, my memory's going. I went into the wife a fortnight ago. I said, how about it? And she said, you've had it. And I can't remember having it. So I went to the doctor. I said, doctor, I'm worried about my memory. He said, forget it. He examined me. He said, if you were alive, you'd be a very sick man, he said. I can't diagnose your trouble at all. He said, it must be the drink. I said, I'll come back when you're sober. I said. And this woman came in. She said, doctor, I've swallowed a 50 pence piece. He says, have you not passed anything? She says, yes, I passed 2 10-pence pieces, he said. He says, that's your trouble, you're going through the change. He says, you sit in the waiting room, I'll see you afterwards, you see. So I was sitting in the waiting room there and just minding my own business, you know, and there was a fella sitting beside me, and this was an empty chair here, and all of a sudden this beautiful big blonde walked in, a big stood. Oh, what a lovely pair of blue eyes, a beautiful pair. Oh, lovely. And she sat down beside me, and I felt so embarrassed because she sat right in my hand, you know. I never felt such an ass in my life, you know. And I was just going to talk, I was just going to speak to her. All of a sudden she killed over that, and she fainted right at my feet. So I lifted her up and I put her head between her legs like that. She was all annoyed, mind you, she had a fag in her mouth at the time. I've always been unlucky. See, with doctors in hospitals, they think, oh, terribly unlucky. I went in to get my tonsils out and they turned the trolley round the wrong way. When I came out of the anaesthetic, the doctor said to me, he said, you're sterile, but don't worry, it's not hereditary. When I got home to the wife, she said, did they give you a burial meal? I said, a burial meal? I was there for 4 hours, I never even got a cup of tea. They gave me these suppository things, you know. For all the good they did me, I might as well stuck them up my arse. Waste time. Well, you might think I was bad, but you see the fella next door to me? Oh, felt heart sorry for him. He was in a terrible state. He had a terrible pain right across the top of his eyes like that, and he was going about it, he was going like that. Oh, the pain, oh! Oh, the pain, oh! Oh, oh! And his wife said, go to the doctor. He said, I never thought of that, he said. They went to the doctor, and the doctor examined him and said, son, he said, I'm very sorry, I have to tell you, he said, but I'm afraid I'll have to cut away your manhood, he said. What do you mean? He said, well, he says, in plain words, he said, your equipment's too heavy. He said, you'll have to have it off. And the boy said, who is? He said, you'll have to go in and get the operation and get it cut off altogether. And the boy said, well, I can't stand the pain, I'm going in to get it off. And he went in and had the operation. Cost him a fortune. You know, it left him a sort of tosser. As a matter of fact, the surgeon that did the operation got a Nobel Prize. So he came out of the hospital, and he said to his wife, he said, Maggie, I'm feeling a lot better now. She said, you're going to Majorca. She said, you go and get measured for a lightweight suit because it's awfully warm there. Get a wee thin suit and you'll no sweat. And he went to the tailor, and the tailor was measuring the trousers. And he said, what side do you dress to? The boy said, what do you mean? And he said, what side is your dingle-dangle? The boy said, what difference does that make? He said, well, if I make the trousers the wrong way, he says, you get a hell of a pain right across the top of your eyes. Here's a lovely ballad. This is a beautiful thing. It's called If I Had to Do It All Over, I'd Do It All Over You. It's a beautiful ballad. You were mad. What's the difference between the O and R? 1 inch. And I was meant for you. What's the difference between a sin and a shame? It's a sin to put it in, a shame to take it out. Yeah. Nature patterned you, and when she was done, you were all sweet things rolled into one. You hear about a homosexual squirrel, he did his nut. What about a laughing rabbit, a hair in his hole? You're like a plaintive melody. As a man said when they poured the glue down a woman's cleavage, if you can't lick 'em, join 'em. That never sets me free, but I'm content. What do you get when you cross a flea with a coo? A nitchy coo. Of course, you cross a flea with a hen, you get a nitchy coke, you know. But I'm content. The angel must have sent you. I would say. See, before I come in here, I was doing in Glasgow, doing my pimp, you know. I saw this big lovely blonde. I said, how's business? And just at that, a big Yankee walked up. Big American, she said, I'll stick it on him. He said, okay, honey. He said, what do you charge? What do you charge? She said, 40 quid. 40 quid? You take American Express, she said, for 40 quid, I'll take any speed you like. But I'm content. The angels must have sent you, and they meant to just for me. You were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Nature patterned you, and when she was done, you were all a sweet thing. You're like a plaintive melody that never sets me free. But I'm content. The angels must have sent you, and they meant you just for me. But it's nice to see everybody happy. I was at a stag party the other week, flame drunk, you know. Again, the wife, oh, she got right on my toe right away, you know. Oh, I said, oh my God. I said, look, I was at a stag party. I said, we had a beer drinking competition. She said, who came second? I said, we had a competition to see who's the biggest one. She said, you didn't take that big thing out. I said, no, just enough to win. far too much, he said. What you say? You going to the hill farm, that's where you're going. And I went way up north to the hill farm. And I got to the door and I said to the fellow, what's it like here? He said, oh, I said, you'll love it here. He said, great. He said, see, Monday night, we gamble all night on Monday night. I said, I don't gamble. He said, well, he said, don't gamble. He said, you like Tuesday night? I said, well, how many Tuesday night? He said, oh, Tuesday night we drink all night. I said, well, I've got to stop drinking. Go with Tito. Can you drink? I'm sorry. He said, well, Wednesday night. All the girls in for the village on a Wednesday night. We're real sex orgy on a Wednesday night. I said, I don't go with girls. He said, are you queer? I said, no. He said, well, you're no like Thursday night either. But that hill farm's good for you, you know. You're jogging there. Oh, jogging away there. Jogged away up over 25 miles. And we came to this big river we couldn't get across. We wired back to the camp, send on 2 punts in a canoe. Well, wired back saying, woman on way, what's a canoe? See, when you're up there for a month, no women. Oh, it's hard. I said, the chief, I said, hey, what about the women? He said, oh, I said, no women here. I'm sorry. He said, we can't have women here now. He said, I'm sorry. So stop. He said, but if you feel that way inclined, he said, go through the forest, to the third path on the left, there's a barrel there with a hole in it. He says, you can go there any night except Wednesday. I said, what happens on Wednesday? He says, it's your turn on the barrel. Come here, let me hear. That really? And marvelous. Did you like a blue joke?
Aye.
This fella, his son was 18, you see. And he said, son, he said, you're a man today, but you're not really a man until you've had a woman, he said. He said, I'll tell you what we're going to do for you. I'm going to help you, son. He said, there's £10. He said, go down the red light district, get yourself a woman. Then you're a man. The boy's fair chuckling. He's walking down the road, burning the hole in his pocket, you know, the money. And he meets his granny. His granny said, where you going, son? He said, my father gave me £10. I'm going to go downtown and get myself a woman. Then I'm a man. She said, you're a man? She said, £10 for a woman? Yeah, well, stupid, she said. Take that money in your pocket. Come on up the stairs with me, I'll show you what it's all about. I went by his fare, said, there's your £10 fare I got for nothing. Fare said, what you get for nothing? He said, my granny gave me. Fare said, you mean you did it to my mother? The boy said, well, let's be fair, you did it in mine. It's been really fantastic. I had a request tonight, actually. But despite that, I'm going to sing anyway. But you got a wee song that asked for there, a wee Scotch song.
There's a star whose beaming ray is shed on every clime. It shines by night, it shines by day, and never